Hello. Today I'm showing you how I'm filming this beautiful BMW convertible with the Pocket 3. I'll take you through my planning, filming, editing, and overall thought process throughout the whole video. Fun fact, I always think editing would be way quicker than it actually is. I mean, this is a 30-second video in a format I've done before, but somehow this video took me 5 hours. A quick backstory before we jump in. I got engaged in Italy a few months ago and my fiance booked us the dreamiest car in the dreamiest location. So of course I had to document it with some photography and a bunch of videos. So this process was an interesting one because I did not pre-plan anything. I mean, it was a surprise. So I'm just really taking you through my workflow for a shoot like this. Let's get into the video. We were in Italy for almost 3 days. We flew on Friday at about 5 a.m. I think, and then we came back on Sunday in the evening. So we actually only probably had about 48 hours in the specific location, but we had about 3 days with this car. As I've said before, the car was a surprise, so I did not have anything planned for the car, but I knew this was going to be a special weekend, so I was ready to document the whole weekend anyway, so I had all my camera gear with me. My first instinct in my head was to capture as much as possible: horizontal shots, vertical shots, wide angle shots, detailed shots, basically everything I could think of. The thought was that it's always better to have more footage than less. But even with that mindset, I'm sitting here going through all my footage now and I'm still feeling like we could have gotten a lot more. So if you're able to, always plan your shot list beforehand. Have an idea of the types of videos that you want to make and film accordingly. But in my case, we make do with what we have. I tried my best. I filmed the car in the early mornings. We had to wake up at about 4 a.m. 3 days in a row, and we would go to bed at 12 a.m. So not a lot of sleep over the weekend, but it was all worth it. In the afternoon, it was honestly so hot when we were there. I couldn't get too much done and the sun was just blazing down, so the shots weren't beautiful anyways. And I filmed it in the evenings and at night as well, just to see how it looked in different lighting. And again, the thought process was to capture as much as possible. This was actually my first time filming a car. I don't tend to have cars as my subject. I am comfortable as an event photographer. Did that for almost a decade. So I'm very much in tune with capturing spontaneous moments. But what happens when you have a car? I had to put on a different brain. So I treated this like a challenge and captured as much as I could and told myself we'll figure out the story later. And later is now. My approach was simple. I thought about wide shots to establish the scene, mid shots, some action shots of me in the car. We actually managed to get a driving shot as well. It so happened that because of the engagement, my fiance booked us photographers and they were so sweet. They were down to try out different things basically. So they took a video with the Pocket 3 hanging outside off their window, which was kind of scary to be honest. I don't know if I'll do that again, but they captured this shot. So that was nice because I didn't plan that. And of course I wanted some detail shots because of how beautifully this car was crafted. But at the same time, I realized I didn't really know how to take detailed shots. So we don't have too much of that, but you know what, it's fine. Looking through all my footages, I see that at some point I decided to focus mainly on vertical content and to keep horizontal content more in my vlog style because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be editing my vlog of the engagement weekend and we're gonna use clips, horizontal clips mainly for that. So I picked a platform that gave me more of an idea of what I wanted to shoot. For the technical side, I generally shoot on 24 frames per second with a shutter speed of 1/50. But for this project, I knew that I would want to slow down some of the clips. So I shot at 60 frames per second at 1/120. This is the 180-degree rule. It just helps your video look more natural with motion blur. And if you want another video diving deeper into it, just let me know down below. Like I said, I kind of knew that it was going to be a special week, so I brought a bunch of cameras with me. I had my Sony a7C II, my Pocket 3 as always, and my iPhone, but we're going to focus on the Pocket 3 specifically. Some accessories I paired with my Pocket 3 that I found super handy was this travel tripod that I have. It's so lightweight and it packs down so small, and sometimes I even use it as a selfie stick. Honestly, such a handy setup. And I knew it was going to be sunny, so I had an ND filter on my Pocket 3 at all times. This is from Newer and I like this this filter because it's a variable ND, meaning you can twist the filter and it adjusts based on how dark or bright you want it to be. Sadly though, I did lose it a few weeks ago filming something else in my car and I can't find it. I didn't get another one from Newer because it comes as a 3-in-1 and I still have to order 2. So I looked for an ND filter, a variable ND filter online, and found this random brand. I've yet to try it, honestly. It's a little bit scarred, the one I lost. We move on. As always, everything that I've just mentioned is linked down below if you're interested. Now we'll get into the video planning part. I have a bunch of footage off the car and the question was, what was I gonna do with it? Sometimes a project can feel really daunting just because of how perfect I want it to turn out, and that actually stops me from creating because it overwhelms me. This specific project, it was a big chunky one, so I wanted to keep it simple with my first video of it. I decided to shape this video around a shot list format, basically to give other creators some inspiration if they're filming a car and to show what the Pocket 3 can do. So this was my process for this part. I went through all my clips and picked out some of my favorite ones. Then I wrote down a shot list, basically brain dumped my ideas, and took all of that and brought it into ChatGPT. If you've not tried ChatGPT for your ideas, what are you doing? I mean, I'm pretty sure most people have, but if you've not, try it out. It's so handy having someone refine your ideas for you. So great, I had my video idea, I had all the clips I wanted to use. Let's get into editing. This is the part I thought was going to be easy because, like I said earlier, I wanted to start with an easy video, but the workflow wasn't exactly the simplest. First of all, for long or short form videos, I like to go in with a rough cut. This means with no music, no sound effects, nothing, no fluff. I just need to see if it flows on its own before I add the extras. For this video, I was going to edit everything on my phone because that's what I do with my short form content. I use CapCut or LumaFusion on my phone, and it usually covers everything I need for short form content. But since I had all the raw clips on my laptop, I thought, why not color grade it properly in DaVinci? So that's what I did. I brought it into DaVinci. For this video, I've not made perfect cuts. I tried to leave a little bit more footage in there so that I could cut to the beat of the music later on. So color grading. DaVinci is a beast for color grading. It's honestly my favorite tool for it. There's so much you can do, and I'm no master at DaVinci, but I have fun with it. I can honestly spend hours on just one clip, and I loved what DaVinci could do, so I made myself some custom LUTs to speed up my workflow when I'm not in DaVinci. These are from my Everyday Cinematic LUT pack, and it's designed for quick color grading. So if you have your Pocket 3 or iPhone or literally any camera, it just has to be shot in normal mode, not in log. Log means a flat profile that most cameras have, and if you don't know what that means, you're probably shooting in normal mode, so that's what we want, normal mode. Funny enough, for these clips, I actually shot in D-Log-M, which is the Pocket 3's version of a log profile, and that's why the LUTs look a little bit off, but it's an easy fix. I add an extra node here right before the LUTs and drag in my conversion LUT from D-Log-M to Rec 709, and that brings it from the flat profile to a normal looking one. The conversion LUT is included in the bundle as well, so if you're interested, it's all there. Once the LUT was on, I created more nodes to add in gradients and different maskings if I wanted to change specific parts of the clip, and I did this for each clip. For example, in this clip, you can tell that the top right is really blown out. It's all just white. So I added a gradient so I could drag the highlights and the whites down. A little issue though is that it was overexposed, and I didn't notice that when I was filming because everything was flat. That just means there's no detail in it, it's just white. So when you try to drag it down, it just turns gray almost and nothing else is added. It's very different editing a raw photo. There's a lot more detail in it, and generally I would take the photo without having to worry because I know that in post I could just drag the highlights down and everything would show. Doesn't work like that for a video, but we work with what we have. Sometimes with just one LUT, it doesn't give me the look I want. So what I like to do is to stack them and basically create my own little mix for each clip. Alright, once the color grading was done, I exported it. These are my settings, and I airdropped it to my phone and opened it up in CapCut. CapCut is amazing for the finishing touches. You have custom fonts, there's captions, there's transitions, other effects. There's just so much. And I know some of you are concerned about still using CapCut because of the terms. From my research, as long as you don't upload anything onto their servers, aka use their AI tools, you should be okay. But I'm no lawyer, so don't hold me to that. But I can't let go of CapCut just yet. Anyway, for this video, I'm following a template of an older video that I made a couple months ago. So we're sticking with the fonts that I used. I used Vigor and Scholar. Sometimes with font pairings, you can find really aesthetic, satisfying looking fonts that work together. I don't think these two are exactly the most satisfying pairing, but it's a serif and a sans serif. And it's not a 10 out of 10 for me, but I've always struggled with fonts and I think it works well enough. Also, I'm just using an old template, so it is what it is. For my first clip, which I did not edit on DaVinci on my laptop because this clip was from my iPhone, I'm using a clip off the Pocket 3. I'm using this as a visual hook, and paired with the title, the viewer knows exactly what they're gonna get. For the background music, I selected a song I liked on TikTok, checked it on Instagram because I post on both TikTok and Instagram, then recorded a blank video so that I could export and extract the audio, then I could cut to the beat on CapCut. For more depth to the video, I usually add some sound effects. Over here, I added the shutter sound and I added a transition effect just to pull the viewer in. And the final touch, I added the dreamy halo effect. At the end of the day, editing is an art form and you get to play around with styles that you like. So I like it when my highlights are slightly glowy, and I think the term I'm looking for is halation for filmmakers, but you have special camera filters and things like that. So this doesn't fully look like halation, but it adds a little bit of a glow, which I like, so good enough. It's looking a little dreamy. We're striving for done, not perfection. The idea was to get this video out and to not overwhelm myself. It saves me 5 hours in. And at the end, when I feel like it's ready to be exported, I mute the soundtrack, export at 24 frames per second, and I know I said I shot this at 60 frames per second, but in DaVinci, the timeline was 24 frames per second. So now when I export, it's 24 frames per second, and I just pick the highest bitrate and export. Also, if you're interested in learning more about the Pocket 3, if you're a beginner trying to get confident with it, I have a full PDF guide on the Pocket 3 going through my full rig, all my accessories, my settings, my workflow, and more. It's helped over 1,000 creators get from beginner to confident, and it's linked down below if you want to grab it. Post thoughts. If I were to do this again, I'd want more time with the car, and definitely more of a structured shot list if I could help it, with more of an idea of the types of videos I'm trying to make. I also wish I captured some real world sounds off the car. The Pocket 3 comes with a DJI mic too, as you can see. And it's great because it has a magnet at the back, so you can clip it onto different parts of the cars. I could have gotten sounds of the engine, sounds of the door closing, the wheel turning, I don't know. Could have been interesting. But overall, I'm just happy with how this came together. Was it my best video? No. Did it take me one step closer to being comfortable in filming a car? Yes, because practice makes progress and we're here for that. At the end of the day, we're just here having fun. This was just one of the ideas I had with this car. Hopefully this breakdown and workflow taught you something. And if you have any questions, you can drop it down below. See you in the next one, and thanks for watching.